Yo, what is really good, my dudes? Today is December 10th, 2018, and we got another RuneScape update for y'all. Today we got a pretty simple patch week, so without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, so yes, it is a patch week update today, so there's no major game update going on, so you know how that goes. I suppose with that, let's just jump right into the patch notes and see exactly what's been updated today. Fixed a minor graphical issue with the Investigator's jacket collar appearing on the chat head when it was not equipped. Fixed a minor graphical issue with a manhole in West Ardoyne. Fixed some underlay issues in Busk. The low wall just south of the East Varrock Bank has had its collision altered to now block movement as intended. Fixed a graphical issue with Princess Astrid. Fixed an issue where several NPCs had patchy skin. A tile on Taverley Bridge no longer missing. Objects will no longer float when you drop them at the top of the Heroes Guild stairs on the top floor. Now added a part of the missing roof of the power station on Ice Mountain. Fixed a graphical issue with a lion belly top. Fixed labeling issue with El Padre de la Luz mask. Fixed Captain Izzy Nobeard's chat head. Keybinds 1 through 8 have now been added to the Try and Win Quiver teleport interface. The Make X window will no longer list skilling outfit pieces after its full set has been completed. A bank area has been added to the Death's office to allow passive healing over time. The tool build button on the equipped items window now has shortcuts to stored tools individual settings via right-click options. Ethereal Heads, Blood, Death, Law, and Affinity can now access the Wicked Hood's teleport latest, Worn Op. Combined Monkey Gregories now also have the swap option while equipped. Bob Barker's specific potion dose decanting is now a menu choice as opposed to manually entering a number of doses. Dig Site pendants now have right-click options to teleport to its various destinations when worn. The Wilderness Chaos Altar now has a offer option on right-click. The Follower Details window will now list stored summoning scrolls as well as those stored in the inventory. Most Try and Win Quiver teleports can now be used an unlimited amount of times. The Death Altar teleport still has 5 times a day. The factory outfit is now reclaimable from Diango/Bank Reclaim. Enhanced replenishment potions are now slightly different color to help differentiate. Now made it more difficult to get pulled out of chat by combat NPCs when speaking to the messenger at Graveyard of Shadows and Swordsman in Edgeville Dungeon during the Curse of Zaros mini-quest. Rune Guardian pets will no longer need to be re-energized at rune altars periodically. Some alchemical onyx changes. Saren spirits will no longer spawn and immediately disappear when performing actions like picking arc mushrooms or deep sea fishing. Players can no longer attempt to add 0 teleport charge compactor items to charge Passage of the Abyss, even if you have other items of the same type in your inventory. The Ring of Dueling teleport via the Passage of the Abyss now states South Feldib Hills, where mobilizing armies used to be. Players can no longer use the Grace of the Elves teleport to the Runespan while inside the Runespan. Using the Max Guild teleport option from the Grace of the Elves uncovered an issue that never previously presented itself. As a safety check, we've added a quick teleport animation to the Grace of the Elves when using Max Guild portal teleports. Saren spirits will now appear for the player who spawned them, and enhancement tablets can now be used to enchant the new Onyx jewelry. Moving on to some other changes. If all pens of a certain size are built, Farmer's Market will now display Owned for animal pen kits. Home teleporting no longer stops poison effects being removed from the player. You should no longer be able to fill gizmo bags past their limit. Free players can now call, and more importantly dismiss, their pets on Free World. Evil Bob will now steal the correct amount of summoning points from the player in Shadow Worlds with the Catastrophe Mutator. It's now possible to stay inside the God Wars dungeon with levels lower than the required level to enter the dungeon. Player moderators should no longer have the possibility to accidentally toggle the temporary mute option when reporting a player within the Report a Player system. The ingredient list for the Supreme Overload Salve on the skill guide now correctly states you need a prayer potion rather than prayer restore. An option to turn on legacy map icons has been added to the miscellaneous legacy mode sections of gameplay settings. The Elf Mushroom patch will now correctly work with Mortania Elite Diaries when the Farming Skill Cape perk activates or when using patch bombs. The Fruit Bats Fly option will now work again correctly. Fixed an issue where corpses in the Death of Chivalry quest could be destroyed by a ring of recoil, stopping players that do not correctly engage in combat from continuing the quest. The Chivalry Prayer will now correctly state the defense requirement at 65. The Bottoms Up achievement can now only be completed using attack potions. Batwing gloves no longer appear twice in the crafting skill guide. Warning message that appears when augmenting Polypore Staff no longer mentions that players will not be able to cast Polypore Strike. Fixed a typo with a rune crafting option on the Retro Skill Cape toggle interface. The Fight Cauldron Coffer will now accept donations up to and including the full 60-minute of buff duration. It is now possible to toggle between Barbarian and normal fishing after having completed the Barbarian training mini quest by talking to Otto. Ice Dragworms will no longer instantly disappear if they did not have a line of sight of their target after burrowing. They've now removed mobilizing armies from the world list interface that had them listed as an activity. With this, they're now decided to change the following worlds you can see here to what they have been changed to. Tweaked Zone of Restoration spawns in Shatter Worlds. Killing certain creatures with loot share active will now correctly award experience in various combat styles. One of the cutscenes for the UR8 quest will now correctly work in Java. 2 quick NXT fixes. They fixed the resizing window bug on Mac, causing RuneScape to become unresponsive, and fixed another bug with trees not having leaves. And finally, we got some changes for mobile. Old style dialog boxes on mobile are no longer displayed during the incantation section of the Light Within quest. Stat globes are no longer overlapping on mobile and tablet devices. We've added a left-click terminology for the summoning globe menus and interfaces. The health globe now displays the correct amount of life points in Legacy mode. Brink of Extinction Egg Puzzle interface has been improved for use on mobile. The buttons have been made larger and have had their spacing improved. The interface when purifying the Wisdom Shard during the quest The Light Within now scales nicely on mobile. The interface for the riding skill during the Gower quest now scales nicely on mobile. And finally, fixed an issue with the Achievements Path interface that could end up with 2 vertical scroll bars. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. If you want to go ahead and check them out yourself, go ahead and do so. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I'm out. Peace.